Hey, in this video, we'll be looking at how to get website performance data from our Google Search Console integration and also create a summary report comparing performance data from two different time periods. Let's get started. I already have two tables available on my row spreadsheet. One's the input and the other is the summary. In our input table, I'm going to start by adding a reference date label right here, and then also a compare date that we can pick from. And I'm going to select B1 and B2. That's where I would want the date picker, or rather a date range, to go. So I'm just going to add that. Let's also go ahead and expand this column a little bit. For the reference date, I'm going to select date range from last month, which is April. And for the compare to date, I'm just going to select the month before April, that's March. Once we have the dates, we can then go ahead and search for our integration function. In this case, that's going to be console. You'll find the get website performance search console function right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on the use function wizard icon right there. And then for the domain or URL, I'm going to type in rows.com. The target type in our case would be a domain. And I'm also going to toggle on the set date range and have the input set to cell B1 from our input table. Once this looks good, you can go ahead and click on the add function in C1 option. From there, I'm going to go ahead and expand this column a little bit too and drag this function just one cell below. Next, I'm going to go ahead and click on this yellow label right here and then select create data table. The first thing I'm going to do is change our table destination from C1 to, let's put that in this A1 cell from our summary table. Next, for the table headers, I'm going to go ahead and, well, let's say select the entire rows object right there. And we also want the header of our table orientation to be in columns. So I'm just going to switch that to the other direction. And finally, I'm going to go to the source section and then click on add another source. And for source 2, I'm going to click on cell C2 to be our input. Once we have this information, we can go ahead and click create data table right there. Next, let's work on a summary table. For that, I'm going to go ahead and insert a row above. I'm going to give this a header indicating GSC data. This column is the reference date, and this column is the compare date option right here. Next, let's go ahead and calculate a change percentage. And for that, I'm going to do B2 divided by C2 minus 1. This is essentially a percentage. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and click on the more format options and select percentage. Since we don't want to manually drag these formulas down, I'm going to go ahead and copy this calculation. And then in D1, type equals autofill. For the label, I'm going to type in change percentage and just punch in that formula right there. Once we have that, we can once again go ahead and select the entire column D, go to more formats and select the formatting to be a percentage. To beautify this report a little bit, you can go ahead and select the headers, mark them bold, perhaps go ahead and change the formatting here. I hope this video helped and thanks for watching.